Yeah, 2 days in a row. But I have music this time because I don't expect I'll be talking too much. Oh look, it's Cloud on Twitch. It's been a while. Okay, so I'm gonna study and what the heck? Something's wrong with my like stream setting. It's okay. We'll just draw. No, I wish I could stream earlier, but I was busy. So, okay. It's time to draw. Time to paint. This is Maple Story music. And like, painting feels halfway done. It's been like 5 minutes of drawing. Hair. So I want to get flowy hair and again volume, form and volume, but flow of the hair. Like, maybe like complicated flow of hair. I need to learn to do like smaller shapes, textures efficiently. Hopefully I get time to doodle today. So I was kind of stuck on the previous one, so I didn't have time to doodle. I'm streaming so late that most of the normal viewers are probably not here. So I asked this before. Like, I'm wondering, like, what type of streams I should do. So I don't really, I want to stream more, but I don't want to do like tutorial streams because I think there's enough of those. I think tutorials without context is kind of not very useful anyway. I could just do like more chill streams like this where it's like I draw and then there's like music. That's also an option. Oh, look who the cat dragged in. This is Maple Story, like the game. How about no HRSR music? No gambling music. A triangle is superior. We all know this. Me and all my homies know that triangle is better. It's just facts. I don't know what to tell you. I mean, like, you're free to have your opinion, even if they're wrong, right? So. Hexagon? Is there actually a hexagon color wheel? What would even be the point? Okay, so if you have the octagon, for example, if you have the octagon for, or hexagon for, like the hue wheel, it would maybe make sense because then you can choose, you can lock on the default primary colors. But it's not generally that important to lock onto those. It's like it's all kind of relative. There's not much specific importance to using a specific set of primary colors as far as I'm concerned, so I don't know if ultimately it's not very useful. Oh. Okay, I lowered it a little bit. Here, I'll just talk really close. But it's like blocking my view. This is Ganyu. It could be Ganyu. Could be Ganyu. Cool. Glad that worked out. But it's not like I'm gonna talk that much anyway. You know, I thought about this game drawing streams, but really I just want to spend more time drawing instead of, you know, gamifying the whole drawing thing. Just, I enjoy drawing by itself quite a bit. Like I could do this for hours until all the viewers fall asleep. I can just keep drawing. Yeah, I'm not doing anybody's homework. No homework. The stream get unlisted. The streams. So all the streams get unlisted, so you won't be able to see them unless you have the link. What made you love art so much? I don't know if I love art. I enjoy it a lot, but I always want to get good at it. It's just I never got bored of it, I guess. It's like there's a lot of improvements I could do. And it's kind of like I can build it into however I want. There's a lot of freedom. So you hate it? No, I don't hate her. In fact, it's like I like art, and it makes it frustrating to teach, like smaller kids sometimes, because I can't really talk about art. Oh, did Snow talk about this? When? Where? Snow leaking top secret information? Purge. I also feel it feels like it's unfair if I give up on the kids because they can't lock in as adults because they're not adults, right? So it feels like it's unfair if I just like, oh, I don't want to teach kids, so they can, like, even if they show some kind of preliminary interest, I just go, wait till you like come back in 10 years or something. But I feel that version is also unfair a little bit. Yeah, I'm 30 plus. I'm basically dead. Both feet in the grave. So the students in my class, they're like kids, right? Like anywhere from 5 to 16 years old. Actually, there are some who are 30s, but most of them are like kids. And I'm addressed as not just the unk, but the unk grandpa. That's like I transcended one term. They needed like a prefix for it. Do you get good at drawing and painting just by studying, or did you take any course? No, I just self-taught. Obviously, I study other artists, but I didn't take courses. I did join oil painting class thingy, just to try out the medium a little bit. Not too long ago, like almost 2 years now, 1 year or something. I kind of sped run that, so. It's more like the access to oil that I was interested in. 'Cause I figured the fundamentals is going to be the same. So, and they are. Oh, so gouache. Gouache is likely my favorite. It's either oil or gouache. It's hard to decide between them. But I like the flavor of the texture from gouache. Slightly better than oil, actually. So might have to take the favorite spot. How does one transition with digital art? Start oil. Start traditional stuff. I mean, I say flavor because I see it as like texture. We kind of compare texture to like food texture, so you kind of imagine like when you see a edible item, you just think of like what would it feel like to chew it. And the same, I plan to apply like the same logic to visual texture. So like if I see a texture or a group of shapes, I kind of assign like a flavor to it. Acrylics are okay. Like they're pretty useful in terms of like their fast drawing properties, but that's superseded by gouache. Like gouache is just superior version of acrylic. But it's not like I hate them. There are some criteria, or not criteria, some characteristics of oil that I don't really like too much. Like obviously the slow drying part. It's also like a stickier texture, but acrylic doesn't have that. So it's like steadfast. Is that the right word for it? I don't know how to describe it. It's not really like precise either. I wouldn't say acrylic is more precise, but it's oil does just kind of does what it wants sometimes. I hate oil pastels. If I have to hate something, it's oil pastels. Like whoever invented that should have just been like, oh, this is not a good one. Let's go back. You know, let's reinvent something else. It's messy, it's easy to break, it's not very blendable, but it feels oily. Like, what's the point? Never dries, thing break easily, expensive, kind of expensive, very hard to detail. Yeah, there's only downsides really. At least to me, you know, maybe some other people have workflows that is more suited for oil pastel. But yeah, I mean you can draw great things with oil pastel. It's just like, okay, if you can do that with oil pastel, you can do that with oil paint. So the point is like it can be easily like transported because it's a dry medium technically. So that, yeah, that's like the only redeeming factor. But yeah, at some point it's like, okay, do you just pack a bigger box and carry acrylic with you? Because acrylic and gouache is also very easy to transport and work in the field with. So I don't think it's worth the convenience. Like whatever convenient factor oil pastel gives, it's overshadowed by the inconvenience of the actual uh, usage of the medium. Oil is just linseed oil. What do you mean? Oil? You can, yeah, because that's just a normal medium for oil. Like normally, linseed oil is just like oil paint is just pigment plus linseed oil. Like maybe some oil has like different additive just to make it like have slightly different properties or consistency, but yeah, you can thin it out with linseed. I don't like the idea of mixing Gamsol into linseed. Because technically Gamsol is not like it's always gonna be a liquid, so it dilutes and then it has to like evaporate. But linseed oil is curing, so it hardens. So they're kind of different. So you're kind of it's not a non-drying oil either. It's a solvent. But I personally, I think it's not good to add too much Gamsol into oil paint. I could be, I mean, I'm sure it has a specific use if you try to do that. So maybe some style or some techniques might benefit from that. But personally, I'm more, I like to use less different types of stuff if I can. Linseed oil is just great because you're not really using anything different. It's just you're diluting the pigments. I almost always paint alla prima, yeah. Draw a rabbit. Not right now. Because I'm drawing hair. Definitely not. I feel like there's too much texture. So maybe I should have switched to a smoother, more controllable brush earlier. I haven't seen that word in a while. Oh wow, I haven't seen that anime in a while. I don't remember if I actually watched that one. How much texture is too much? Oh man, that's a tough question. It's impossible to answer that question without context. That's like asking how anime is too anime, you know, depends. Case by case, depends on who you're asking, what the art is for. Okay, so eating whipped cream I can do, like, because whipped cream is nice. Oil pastel is not that. I wish it was that, but it's not. So okay, it's not really a rant. It's not. It's more like a situation update. So obviously I have students, and I give my students assignments. Some of them refuse assignments because they're children and they don't understand the importance of assignments and self-study. But anyway, that's besides the point. The point is, some of the students, right, depending on the assignments, they not choose to have, like they would choose to have a certain type of focus on their either mentorship or class, and I would give them kind of pointers to how to achieve their goals, or at least like work towards their goals. But it is apparent that some of the goals that are listed are either they're like really complicated or just very tough to approach or achieve. So you end up with these kind of students that do get a little bit stuck. It's like I'm sure it is frustrating to tackle very difficult subjects. So the point I'm trying to make is like, I wonder if some of the students are experiencing too much suffering. Not that I don't think this is valuable, because, or it's not valuable, because whenever you learn something, before you know it, it's always going to be tough. If it's not tough, then, you know, maybe it's not really worth like it won't take that long to learn, and you could have learned it by yourself. I teach both traditional and digital, but I would say I have more students for digital than traditional. Example of their goals. It would be like, okay, draw. Depends. Okay, so for the smaller kids, for the younger students, Your goal might be like pretty vague or ambitious or ambiguous. So it could be like mastering fundamentals or like drawing better portraits. But we didn't really define what better means until much later. So you can't really like act on it. So I have to figure out what better means to them, and then we can, tackle it. But sometimes they don't see the importance of like simplifying the problem enough, and it ends up being sometimes being like the main reason why they're stuck. And I think it's to a degree unavoidable to be stuck like that, because like I am stuck like that a lot. Like I'm stuck more often than when I'm not, because when I'm not stuck, then I can progress really quickly until I'm stuck again. So usually you are perpetually stuck somewhere. But I wonder if the students feel like they're too stuck, because without the mentorship in the classes, they might not even consider tackling these questions, because these questions are really difficult. But the expectation is like, as a teacher, I should be able to help them navigate the question. But if the question is difficult, no amount of voodoo magic mentoring can solve the problem faster than the students themselves can learn. Right? So if it's like a complicated problem, no matter how simple I try to make, or how isolated I try to make the problem, it's still going to take a lot of mileage to address it. I am not adopting kids for sure. My children are like, well, not my children. My students are like mostly 5 to, let's say 15, 5 to 15. Sometimes we have trouble getting through obstacles because we don't even know what the obstacle is. We just know like whatever we make is not satisfactory, and that's not really a clear goal. But yeah, it could take a long time, or it could take external guidance to figure out like what the actual problem is. Because usually we focus on the symptom. So the symptom will be like, okay, like the art is not satisfactory. But that's not like a root cause, Do I have such bad like low viewership on Twitch? Sometimes I'm just like, should I focus on just YouTube and forget about trying to dual stream, because maybe I'm too many baskets for the eggs. Yeah, I use one layer often. I don't really want to do layers too much, because I don't feel like it, in the most part, in the most case, in most cases. It doesn't help me that much. It's just like, yeah, you can get better separations, but if I don't need it, then I won't use it. I won't try to just open layers. I have a habit of just not opening new layers. If I can solve the problem without it, I will do that. So this is my normal-ish color wheel size. It's maybe a tiny bit smaller than I'm used to. I won't do daily streams, but I'll try to stream more often. What do you mean by clean? Okay, I don't know what other people's Clip Studio Paint setup is like, but this already feels like I wish it was more empty, but I really need all of these. Actually, maybe I can get rid of this if I know all the shortcuts, but the setup is pretty much default, so there's multiple shortcuts or multiple items to one shortcut, so sometimes I need to know what it's on. So like lasso has 4 different modes, right? Of course I can go and change the shortcuts, but I don't want to go from the default too much, so that if I were to start on a different system, I just hit the ground running, like the moment I turn it on. I don't have to have this special setup just for me to be able to paint. How big is my tablet? 27-inch. Trying to avoid rendering anything besides like form and silhouette. As digital painting, would you recommend using a brush with like pressure? Yes, yes. But you can practice without pressure opacity. Like it's not like you can't draw with it. I've drawn things I really like without pressure on opacity. But given the choice, I would say yes. Definitely turn it on. It's good. It's like, how I put it, there's pressure to opacity even in real life, right? Like pencil, for example, harder you press, darker it gets. So I don't see why you would want to keep it turned off. Now, if you want to turn it off because you want to do like limited limited tools on like input, then sure, fine. But yeah, I don't see why you would never turn on. I didn't even save. Holy crap. How's my 8 viewers on Twitch? Oh, I have some. Is that a bot? I guess 7 viewers on Twitch. Okay. Yeah, I think the color wheel is about my hand size. Now, how do I improve this painting without going into the realm of over-rendering or just using rendering as a tool? Like, I don't want to render for the sake of rendering, but I want to focus on form and flow. Actually, maybe I should focus on shape, form, and flow. Shape is king. Not even form. Like, I think shape is more important than form. Because you can have graphical designs and it does not apply any consistency to form, but it's still good art or illustration. I think that's key. Oh wait, Twitch went up to 10 viewers. Nice, nice, nice. What makes a painting interesting in your opinion? Another tough question. I don't know. There's no general answers for that. Like, there are interesting paintings. There are many interesting paintings, but I don't find a set of criteria where I go, okay, if it checks these boxes, it is interesting. I don't really think of it like that. Because I don't want to limit my viewpoint to like, okay, like if it doesn't check these, then it's not interesting. I look at it and I'll be like, okay, it's interesting or not, and then I try to figure out. Sometimes I try to figure out like, okay, why was it interesting to me? So again, it depends. Let's get that smoothness of form. I like but when you make tea, it's not overly bitter, and it's like with really good water, like soft filtered water. It's like coffee when it's smooth. Form makes the thing believable. Shape makes it readable. If it's believable but not readable, then your composition is gonna be not that great. But you can have great composition without good form. I put this: good form by itself does not make great paintings. Good shapes by itself makes great paintings. Can make great paintings. Going about studying values. Do value studies. I mean, yeah. Just take whatever picture you find cool, do value studies on it. There's no secret sauce. I don't know what answer you were expecting, but when you have a really vague question, then you get very vague answers. Or you can only give very vague answers. Does shape create form or reverse? Shape does, as far as I know, shape does create form. And maybe there's some edge cases where you can make form without shapes, but I can't think of any right now. So shape is a projection, two-dimensional projection of form. If you have an accurate two-dimensional projection, then we can create the illusion of form. So you can't do it without shapes. I mean, you can do it mathematically, like, but that's, okay, I can't say that's not art, but that's not illustrative art. There's the value study for black and white images or color ones. Both have its benefits. I prefer studying from colored ones because it retains more information and it's your job to condense the information. Whereas black and white is condensed for you, but there's the benefit of it is condensed for you, so you can learn how to simplify using something that's already simplified for you. So it really depends what stage you're at. See, like most questions you guys ask, I can say it depends because you don't give me enough context. And then you guys are gonna go on my Yelp review and say, oh, this guy knows nothing. Just says it depends on every question. So, and then I'll have to find you. Okay, it's farm shape of the same thing. The borders, boundary limits of where the material will go. Well, they're not the same thing, but shapes are like smaller elements of form in illustrative art, but they're not the same thing. So maybe I can render a little bit now. Like, I think it's safe to. Yeah, back to what I was saying, the whole streaming thing. If I were to stream more, if I could make it like part of my career, like art streaming, I wonder what is a niche that has not been tapped yet. At least not being completely saturated. That's the best I can ask for. That of course that a niche that I can fill in because of what I do, but I don't use reference for all my drawing, but do use reference for a lot of my drawings. Of course, you can't find perfect references, so sometimes I combine references, sometimes I alter them depending and like change it to show what I want to show. I am using a ref right now. I said I'm studying hair. So when I do studies, I use reference pretty much all the time. There's very few instances where you do study and it's a good idea not to use reference, because then what are you studying? I often give up on paintings. In fact, more often than not, I stop painting because I give up on a painting. Now, it's not necessarily a bad thing. It just depends on how far you're willing to take it, and there's a diminishing return at a certain point. So it might be better to wait until you get better to push the painting, or to push a similar idea. It could be a brand new painting with a similar idea, but like how far you can push based on your current skill level is dependent on your skill level. So where I give up now is different from where I give up a year ago or 5 years ago. You know? That makes sense. If that makes sense. But there are paintings where I'm like, I'm done. Like I feel like I've satisfied my mm, my craving while I'm painting it, and it's as good as I would like it to be. But that's very, very, very rare. Extremely rare. I would say there's maybe like 5% or less of painting that feels like that. It's like I'm painted out in the painting. And I look at the painting, I'm like, okay, like I'm happy with it completely in every way that I can imagine, I can see right now. So that's when your vision is like in line or maybe lower than your skill level. And it's not necessarily a good thing, but it's a nice feeling, I guess. Like right? For this painting, I'm looking at it and I'm pretty stuck because I'm like, yeah, I feel like it's okay, but it's not like even the correctness of form or like the prioritization of details. It's not where exactly I want to be, and I'm close to giving up on it because I don't feel like I'm gonna make any progress past a certain point, and I think I'm nearly at that point. Like I don't see yet like how do I make this painting better. Yeah, like I can render it, right? Like, but render doesn't necessarily make the painting better. My brush, my sensitivities are default. Everything is default. Every brush is default. So like I don't change the curve at all. I let my arm adjust to it instead of, adjusting to my arm. Huh. Yeah, if this was a color painting, I would know where to go. So I always thought, I mean, people always think that black and white paintings are easier. So personally, I think black and white paintings are ultimately harder because you get less dimensions to work with. So you have to think about ways to aesthetically squeeze the information into just one axis. So it's either dark or light. And when you get to the near the end of the painting and you want to make it more interesting, for the lack of better words, I feel like there's less tools to do that. So people think it's easier. It's like, oh, you don't have to deal with color theory. Well, it's worse. If you're looking at a color picture, you have to deal with color theory and you cannot use it. So it's like a handicap, actually. I have some of my previous live streams on YouTube, but I don't have all of them. Like, it's archived, so. I mean, yeah, there's no eye catcher, but I don't feel like a eye catcher or focal point is necessary all the time for it to be interesting. I think, or to be a nice painting. So I think what I'm missing is something more difficult to describe. I guess you could say there's nothing special about it. Like, not even the fact that there's no story, but like there's no no elements of the painting that's impressionable. Grayscale to color, no. I don't like grayscale to color. So I never, well, not never, I rarely do them. And if I do them, I do it very early. So I don't have to deal with like the information compression for too long if I know I'm gonna go into color anyway. So I said color is almost like a crutch in some cases, like especially at the end I was like, okay, I don't know what to do, well, let me just color. So, like, to get more like information into the painting. Let's think about this. So maybe the shine of the hair, maybe like the form of the hair could be an interesting part of the painting. And if I could make it interesting, then what I would do, try to do it, so exaggerate the overall form a little bit like this, and I would vignette the Fresnel, vignette the Fresnel like a lot, so that it looks, the Fresnel itself is exaggerated. That. Now I'll actually exaggerate certain spectrum of hues, whether like dark or bright. So here I'd probably make it brighter. That's a bit more interesting, actually. Personality. Oh, what a great word. Yeah, the art lacks personality. Yeah. I guess it's technically sufficient, but not artistically sufficient. Round brush is the greatest brush. Well, I like doing studies where it's like I'm control different elements so that I can isolate, like, what do I have a problem with? Do I have a problem with like generating shapes? Do I have a problem with like overusing texture? If I do, then I go round brush to see if I can get a decent result. Now, if I can get a decent result with a round brush, then the brush is not the issue. So these textures, I think these really sharp textures, like they're there on accident, but I think I can moderate it to where it's like in the right places and doing the things I want them to do. So if I have, let's say, okay, let's make a new layer. If I have, say, texture in certain areas, I want to like exaggerate the sharpness of it. It's not really a foreign concept to me, but sometimes I don't think about it. I just let, Bob Ross happy accident solutions kind of take over, or I try. No, it's the spray and pray method, but I don't think I should rely solely on the spray and pray method. So I should control. What a difficult game. Incorporating more textures into drawings. Why do you want more textures into drawings? Like, that's another big question. Depends what you're doing with the texture. Are you using it as a shape? Are you using it as a material differentiator? I don't know. What do you want? What do you want from it? Okay, more textures in the mid-tone, I think, will solve some of our problems. By ours, I mean my problem. So material textures. Well, you gotta see what kind of shape makes up the materials that you're looking at, and then try to mimic the shape patterns, the small shape patterns. I do not, in general, I do not make money streaming like this. Not yet. And maybe I never will, I don't know. But, well, we gotta manifest, right? So I will be making $1 billion per stream very soon. Very soon. It's gonna be so much money, and people are just gonna donate like a bunch of money for me to keep streaming like this, and it'll be the greatest job in the world because I can draw whatever I want. So stay tuned. Membership, maybe. Yeah, maybe. But like I don't really have a big enough audience on YouTube to make a mentorship. I mean, not mentorship, membership. I think, I'm not sure. I don't want to like teach on YouTube. At least not right now. So I feel like teaching should be like more case by case as far as possible. Because everybody has different progression curves, everybody has different problems that they're currently tackling. So it's kind of not very effective doing like a blanket YouTube video. Oh, just a second. Did you major in art and college? No, I did not. I majored in accounting and chemistry. I think there's some improvements here. Let me check. Some. Very minor. But some improvements. Let's keep going. Yeah, chemistry. Huh. I majored in chemistry for chemistry. It's just a study I picked. Well, I was supposed to be a medical professional, but I didn't go very far in that path because I hated biology. So I was like, but chemistry is kind of cool. So. And then I ended up being an accountant. Long story. I don't like cookbook science. Well, that's more referring to organic chemistry, but I think biology is just too messy of a study. So it just might piss some people off. It feels closer to social studies than it is science. No hate, but the biological system is just too complex, so you rely on statistical methods instead of actual, like, data-driven science. Hard science. Not that it's hard, but yeah, yes, it's the Asian pipeline. Instead, I drew, and I failed some of my classes. I really hated some of my other classes, and yeah, it's a whole mess. Okay, I think the balance is a little bit off. Okay, so that's, to me, that's definitely an improvement. So actually less rendering, less clarity is an improvement. But it depends on how the clarity is abstracted. But I want a clarity in form still. Ooh, wait, I see an opportunity here. There's this squeeze in the bunch of hair, bunched up hair. Okay, that's better. Good question. I will be actually woodworking sometime in the near future. So, okay, The reason I drew this piece is because I wanted to study hair and form. So if I get that in, like how do I articulate the flowiness of hair and the form of hair, then it serves its purpose. It does not need a deeper meaning. So some art pieces don't need a deeper meaning. It's not like it has to, you know, make people cry when they look at it. So I think as long as I serve that purpose, I'm good. No need to always go for the philosophical path. Like we can pick simpler subjects. It's not a crime. As long as we understand it well. I understand our goals well. Ooh, let me not get copyright hit. Taped banana doesn't have any meaning either. Well, I'm not gonna lie, taped banana kind of mid. Like at least like taped mango or something, right? Mango is better than bananas. So I don't know. I don't like these modern art installations where they try to. It's like, how do I put this? Put it nicely. It's like I'm 14 and this is deep, but like on crack. It's like, oh, this duct tape is the personification or analogy to modern day economics or whatever. Like, no, it's not. Refund that in Home Depot. I don't want to throw too much shade at like postmodernism, but you know, it's not my thing. But I don't want people to like suddenly like start emailing me like, oh, this guy hates art. No. How often do you draw? Almost daily. You know how I think modern art is like this. If enough people can derive meaning from it, then technically it is successful as a piece of art. But you have to have that art without the nepotism involved in the gallery industry. And I call it an industry because money is the driving factor. Like, can they use this as a tax write-off? So the problem with like modern installation is like, if you were to see that on the street, would you feel the same feeling as if you were to see it like in a quote-unquote curated setting where you know like this, you know, bougie art gallery is like the shit, and if you don't get it, then you're not in, and you don't want to be the guy that's not in. So you kind of pretend, like play along, like, oh well, it's so deep and meaningful and stuff, and then they try their best to assign meaning to it. So I think if we can separate it from the art and the installation, or the art from the installation and the venue, then we can really judge if it's useful. But I think these modern artists, most of them, where they call it like conceptual, right? They would not take that type of challenge, I guess. I don't know if that's sarcastic, but I do have a Discord. And you can critique and learn. If you like, you can also go farm cats on the server if you hate locking in. Oh, these little shiny bright spots actually add quite a bit to the piece, I feel. It's like it almost like it breaks up the shape without ruining the composition. So maybe I should figure out which ones to add. Like that changes the feel of the painting a little bit. Yeah. Everything you say sounds like it's philosophical. I mean, it's that time of the day. Well, how they make money is kind of an accounting trick. It's roughly like this. You get an organization that makes a lot of money, and they sponsor an artist, and they cook up the price. So let's say they have 10 pieces of art, and they sell 2 pieces of them, and it's sold for like 100k each. Now they have 8 other paintings that they didn't sell, but because now there's a market value, and market value is how we do valuations sometimes for how much things are worth. But you know, it doesn't matter who bought them if they're like somewhat, if you can argue they're not insiders. Now you have a piece that's worth 100k each, so $800,000. Now if you donate them to like a non-profit organization, let's say the school or like a church or something, now you can write off $800,000 worth of like assets. So you're like charity, $800,000, and you can put that against your revenue. Now there's like formalities you have to go through for that to stand legally and accounting wise, but that's like a simplified version of how it's done. So like if you're really rich, right, you have a company, and you know you're trying to cook up an artist, and you're like, okay, he has 10 pieces, we're gonna sell 2. Just get your uncle who's also like really rich, like go find some friends and try to make this more expensive, and then we can save $800,000 revenue, which translates to maybe 30-40% in revenue savings. So now your net, like, you only sold 2 pieces that, let's say both you bought from like your actual money, but you save 30-40% of $800,000, so your net like 120. And you can scale that money up quite a bit. No, it's like strictly tax savings. Of course, you can launder it, right? Like, or you can like timing of valuation, so you can give it to someone like your offspring, and then have it evaluated afterwards. So now you have a transfer of like tax-free transfer. You still get tax when you sell it, so it's not like they don't pay tax, and then they just find other ways to offset it. So It's not really money laundering advice. I mean, it is technically money laundering, but it's not advice you can use. If you're able to use this, if you're able to use this advice, your accountant team has already told you about it. If you can't use this advice, then you know that means you're broke like me. So broke like 99.99% of the population. It's like they get away with this. I hope people don't learn more accounting from me than art. I don't want to go back to that world. Just find some of these accounting tricks, like interesting. The fact that people can do certain things and get away with it, and somehow there's no punishment. When I say interesting, it's more like it irks me. So all I can do is spread awareness and complain about it. Tax law. I remember someone, my professor actually said something in tax law. They asked like, okay, like, are we gonna learn about all the tax loopholes in this class? Like, are you gonna finally share the secrets of the rich? And my professor said one thing as an answer. It's like, there's no tax loopholes. Everything is by design. So if you can use it, the deduction, for example, it means it was designed for you. And it's by design. There's no loopholes. If you can't use it, it doesn't matter what you call it. It's not applicable to you. So the tax system is working as intended. So it's not like, oh, it's just like this secret trick. If you know it, you're gonna save like $1 million as a normal person. It's not like that. And the tax laws are very clearly written. It's so clearly written that some laws are designed for like specific people. So there's actually I think it was Delaware, that there's an island of very rich people, just like 3 families that live there, very rich families. And there's a law that says if there's a certain type of income that's specific to that industry, and if you live on that island, you're tax exempt. And I read it, I was like, that's crazy. So they actually lobby that into the tax code just so that they can get benefits from the American people. I don't know if I don't think it is. I think it's oil related. I forgot which island exactly, but it's nothing to do with Epstein. And this was years ago that I read this. Yes, as usual. Yeah. I'm complaining just because I'm on that starving artist pipeline, so I'm just jealous, right? Yeah. Like, where's my tax cut? Or where's my government assistant? Thank you. Glad you enjoy the art. Yeah, I think it's oil or fracking related. It's just literally for those families, not even for corporations. Yes, I'm currently using a reference. This is a study for flow of hair and form. Because I feel like I want to be better at flow of hair and form. So I'm studying. Yeah, my professor was actually locked in as heck. So he liked, well, I don't know if he liked it, but he was interested in law and tax law so much that he went and learned Russian just so that he can study Russian tax laws to see if there's a comparison between Russian tax laws and American tax laws. Like, that's absolutely nuts. Yeah, he actually did it for the love of the game. Few people have PhD in accounting, and I think I had 2 professors who had PhDs in accounting. Because there's not much to research. It's not like a science. They say it's a science, but you know, it's business. We really be calling anything science these days, and people get the engineering title pretty liberally now. Is he successful? Well, he's a professor, so yes, he's a tenured professor, so I would say he's pretty successful in the academia realm. That's like professorship is like a tenured professorship is end game for a lot of people. You get to spend your life studying what you want to study. Like, I wish I could be a tenured professor for art. But I don't know how to even go down that path. Okay, so this painting is about 1 hour and 30 minutes. I'd say that's not bad for 1 hour 30, but I feel like I'm getting to a point where I shouldn't over render too much. I should pick where I render. So I'm gonna pause a little bit to choose. No, I mean, science isn't like, accounting is not a science. It has elements of science in it, but I feel like it is incorrect to call it science. Yeah, they call it Master of Science. So I'm a Master of Science in accounting, but I'm a Bachelor of Arts in chemistry, which makes no sense to me. I'm looking at different views of my painting, so it's like I see clearly. I just don't see a solution, and maybe I'll see a solution if I just stare at it a little bit more. Yeah, that will do the trick. Stare at it a little bit more. I know accounting is science, apparently. So. Oh, hello, Twitch viewers. Math is art. Yeah. So, you know, they say I heard this quote. It's like, if you think about it, kind of makes sense. Like it's you get something down to a science, but you elevate something to art, like state of the art, right? So technically, as a language, English acknowledges that art is at least not above science, but it has more finesse than science, right? And I do agree, because art is a very complicated subject, but that doesn't mean it's suited for the same approach of study. It's different, but it's more difficult to master art, to be considered like a master of art, than it is to be a master of science. I think at least it's rare. I hope that doesn't piss people off, because I've done a little bit of both, right? So at least that's my opinion of it. No, I don't think it's a spectrum. It's probably not a spectrum. Okay, for example, we use rocket science to describe something that's really hard, so like rocket science, but then we say something like easy as pi, but pi and rockets are not a spectrum in most spectrums. Yeah, just because they are used as analogies doesn't mean they're on the same spectrum. Huh. Maybe I accentuate the bounce light. Right here. Yeah. Art is just very like vague, and a lot of things can be described as art, whereas science is has a tighter definition. So it's easier to say, okay, you need to do this to get better at science, you need to do that to get better at science. But we can't really say the same about art. It's not like, oh, do this and you'll be better at art. It's not. There's no clear path. That's why I think that portion is harder. But I think the fundamental parts of science is harder. Like the beginning part of science is harder, because it requires much more technical skill to be even a little bit proficient at. So, but drawing, like, you don't need that much technical skill to create interesting things, but it requires a lot of technical skills and like more like soft skills to get to a point where you're considered the best in your, like, one of the best in your field. It's like there's no clear definition of that. That's why it's hard to, like, yeah. Oh man, if we look at like Bo Chen, right? Some people would consider him to be the best at splash arts or certain types of art. But if I ask, like, okay, like, what makes Bo Chen Bo Chen? Like, what makes him good? It's hard to. I think it would be difficult for us to like narrow down like a bullet point list. But if you say, oh, what makes von Neumann great? He was great at math. He was great at abstract concepts. Like, okay, what makes Feynman one of the greatest? It's like he understood very complicated concepts and he can make great analogies and simplify things. I feel like it's easier to explain. Yes, I think art is more complex, yes. There's a lot of moving parts. Like, think about this. Like, how do you become a doctor? You go to school, you study a lot of stuff. You study these books. If you like understand everything in these books, and you can do math, you can talk to people and answer questions, then you can become a doctor. You just need to pass the tests. How do you become an accountant? You just pass the tests. But how do you become a good artist? Like, I don't know. I have some guesses, and that's why I teach people. Hopefully I lead them into the right direction, but I can't give like a bullet point answer for like, oh, this is what you need to do. It's like, do you need fundamentals? Do you need anatomy to be a great artist? Not really. There's logo artists. Do you need to be able to draw lines really well or block really well? No. There's manga artists that are great at storytelling and they can't draw very well, like One for One Punch Man, right? Do you need to do colors really well? No, there's grayscale artists. It's like a bigger categorization. What the heck? Oh, okay. Shower thoughts with pluvium at 2 a.m. in the morning. Okay. As you draw Ganyu a lot, do you play Get? I don't play Genshin Impact. I like Ganyu as a character, but I don't know much or anything about Genshin Impact except if it's Ganyu related. Of course. Yeah. Like, if I played the game just for Ganyu, then it's a dilution of Ganyu. Like, I gotta play through all the other stuff. Like, the game is not just Ganyu, right? So why would I do that? It makes no sense. I don't say I like Ganyu and other characters of Genshin. I say it's just Ganyu. Everything else is like, don't even waste my time. Don't waste my time. Yeah. I mean, they have great designs. I'm just kidding. They have great designs. I love Genshin. Don't blacklist me from the commission pool. But personally, right? Of course, Ganyu is the best. Yeah. Yeah, but if anybody works for Genshin or works for Hoyoverse, you never heard what I just said. Like it's you heard it wrong. Yeah. I think it was it like one of the editors of pretty big YouTuber was in the stream once. I was like, oh shit, gotta be on my best behavior. So if they pick me for like the next, you know, WWE live stream cameo, I'll get a chance to be on TV. Yeah, it's damage control. I still want fun brands to work with me. Right? Like if I'm interested in the brand itself, then yeah, send me an email. Is there too much going on? Is this too much? I think it's quite a bit. It's quite a bit. Let's do a little bit of management. Okay. You only use a hard brush. You always use soft brush. I use soft brush sometimes. It's almost like, so right now the one I'm using is like this, right? And then sometimes I use something like this, but very rarely do I use like this kind of airbrushy thing. Like if I really need to soften form, like right now, I'll put a little bit of, airbrush. But it's not the main bread maker. super stuck. Super stuck. I'll test some stuff out. Maybe we'll make it better. And I'm at the realm that I'm not sure if anything I do will make it better, but I think it's worth trying because this is where the improvements happen. If I'm not sure, right? If I'm sure about everything, then I'm just doing what I know already, so. Huh. Okay. Oh, welcome back. Did you enjoy the detour, the 3-year detour? Yeah, hopefully I improved over the last 3 years then. Ooh. Found a form that's worth doing. What do you think the common trait that helps achieve likeness? Proportional accuracy. I think make her not cute. Proportional inaccuracy. So proportional accuracy is a pretty big thing. And you can't really be too lenient on yourself, unfortunately, for proportional accuracy when it comes to likeness, because likeness is kind of like a cold hard ratio proportion issue. So if you're very lenient about it, then it's like a little bit off is a lot off. So can you drink water? Yeah, I can drink water. Oh, so you found my stuff twice. Nice. Okay. Let's see. Sometimes having trouble telling like smaller forms, like what's it look like it's doing, and then how do I portray it, and then I realize there's like some major discrepancies, and then I cry. Like if I'm misunderstanding a form, then I can't draw it correctly, even simplify it correctly. That's it's a common problem for me, for a lot of art that I see where the artist is not happy with it, and like, well, the problem is misreading the reference, or like misinterpreting what they mean. Triangle selectors versus square triangles better. People like Robert Valley can do crazy stylization but capture the essential of the real life counterparts. Do you have any tips for this? Proportions. So you need to know exactly which areas you can exaggerate and why it's making the person look like how they look like. So we identify people by their deviation from like the average proportions. So if you can, so caricatures are an example of like exaggerations with like intent. So if you find something that's like out of the ordinary, you can try to exaggerate that portion and still keep the likeness, because that's what makes that face unique. And if you can identify what is unique, then you can do it. But you can only identify what is unique based on, do you know what the like the common proportions is based on, like statistical average for those parts. So if you see something unique and you can identify it, it's like, oh, that's a really unique thing, and which portions of it is unique, then you can sometimes stylize it. Yes, caricatures. Have you drawn caricatures before? I mean, no, but I've exaggerated some stuff before. Ooh, I did want some time to do doodles, so maybe I can close this up. Like I'm at the point where I've been stuck for a little bit now for this painting, so I feel like I could let it rest. Yeah, I do some traditional art, yeah. Oh man, um, I'm just not talking too loudly, but let me. Okay, I lowered it a little bit, but let me see. This should be the correct volume. Up it a little bit. Okay, how about this? Should be a little tiny bit better, hopefully. I mean, I can talk like really close to the mic. So this is, I try to maintain this distance when I was doing like class, but if it's like the morning, I talk a little bit louder. Just right now, it's very late. It's an old mic, but it's a really pretty decent mic. No ASMR, just art stream. No, I don't think so. I don't think it does. Yeah, I was gonna do Makima, like in terms of like changing it to Makima, but I like drawing Makima's eyes, so in this case it wouldn't work. And it doesn't look like Makima's braid. This is like a bun, and then now that I said it, it's a bun, and I didn't draw the bun correctly, so it does not look like what I'm seeing. So I need to fix it. Sometimes I need to like say what I'm drawing, and then I would see the problems. So this part needs to be like a loop. Okay, so that's it's a little better. Okay, if I figure out ways I can improve it, then I'll keep going for a little bit. You guys don't get doodles. I haven't doodled in so long. Because I've been busy doing paintovers and critiquing homeworks and stuff. It's like a croissant, yeah, it's like a croissant. Yeah. Yeah, I draw nearly every day. Croissant, yeah. Doodles, yeah, doodles is very fun. Gimmick animations, no. Not really, no. I've tried it a little bit, but no huge interest there. Yeah, but the different things. It's not like, oh, you draw illustration, and when you get really good at illustration, maybe you can consider animation. It's not like that. So that's like saying, oh, you do 2D drawings. Like, when are you gonna get to 3D rendering and stuff, modeling? Like, it's not a progression thing. It's just at that point, it's like a different discipline. It's possible. It just takes a long time. And illustration style is kind of vague. Like, what illustration style are we talking about? Illustration is not just a more complicated still image of an animation, and vice versa is also not true. It serves different purposes. So a still image might work as a still image, but it wouldn't work as a animation sometimes. So hello. Okay, I really need to drop this painting because it's getting to the point where I'm not making any progress. If I can do a little trickery. The curve I'm pretty happy with, distribution wise. It's like a very well distributed curve, so I'm using the full range. This is fine. This is fine. But what you do more is what's easier. Well, also, yeah, for the most part, it's true, I guess. I hope my art is not just realistic. Like, realism is not the biggest criteria. Okay. How do you draw blurry things without a blur tool? Or draw them not in focus. Draw them blurry. Lower the contrast doesn't always work. Let's make a new one. Okay. Let's do some doodles. Doodling. Haven't doodled in so long. Oh, okay. Let's do some guidelines to kind of LARP. It's a Loomis method LARPing. Oh, I don't know. This could be like a younger version of Etona. If you had a chance, would you become an elf? Good question. I don't know. I don't think. Like, I don't think I would be too bothered for either. I don't mind if it was chosen at random. Hope to draw as well as and fast as you one day. Well, fast is not really a good measurement as well. Practice. I know it's a very cliche answer, but oh, that is a problem. Yeah, if you take too long to finish a piece, and by the end, it's like you hate doing the piece. Oh no, I'm just getting sleepy, I think. The head is too big. This is like a slightly shorter, I don't know. It's like maybe like 6 foot tall. Like a slightly younger version, or like, well, not slightly, a lot younger version, because the normal age is very old. She just never stopped growing after maturity, but I don't know. Ooh, the arm anatomy is a bit. That might be better. But not the anatomy, the proportion is was a bit off. Okay, so, kind of want the outfit a little bit, but let's get the flow of the figure. Ooh, you know what I want? Yeah, I think the proportion is right now, but I want the hair to be like flowy, just like how I practiced before. I think that's pretty good oh, the line's too thick, no wonder. Pretty good representation. And then she has, ooh, this hand is too big. Yeah, I don't know. Okay. Heels. Yeah, I haven't drawn the ears yet. I just want to get the overall proportions and figure in before I do the rest. So now I would draw the ear. And then I kind of want the hammer, but so like she's like hoisting it at the waist, and then she would raise it. How would she pull the hammer? Probably like a katana, but from the right hand, right? So the hammer would rest this way, but towards the front. So we wouldn't actually see the head of the hammer. That doesn't look aesthetically pleasing. Maybe this is okay. So the hammer is supposed to be like the same height as her, but because this is a younger version, I'll have it so that the hammer is bigger than she is. She just has to like grow into the weapon. Then, ooh, right, top right light. For iPad, I would recommend Procreate. Oh, glad you like my art. Okay. Oops. I think well, I don't use vectors, so I don't care for the lack of vectors. Let's just get some stuff populated in the background. I guess this is okay. Fun little doodle. Maybe I'll doodle some like faces. Focus on faces. I was gonna focus on faces, but it just kept extending until it's the full body. So, maybe I just some like poses and faces. Yeah. Nah, I'm not gonna render or anything. Just. Oh, let me. I haven't really posted on my other Twitter account for a while. It's a sketch doodle account. I don't even remember which number this is. 490. This is 490. Like, I try to remember all my sketches in terms of like numbering them and putting them in the log, but I forget sometimes. But I will only count the ones I remember to log. What's the second Twitter? It's that's a secret. No, it's like PLGR sketch or something. Just for me to dump like sketches and doodles. Yeah, I sometimes ignore that account completely. I forget that I have that one, but it's not that important. I use it as a repository for stuff. Okay, let's see. So for doodles, I would like to see like, okay, what makes up an attractive face to me, and like what do I find like the elements of the face, like which features do I care about the most. So a lot of people render like eyes, right? But that's not always the most important feature in a painting. So I kind of want to learn all the features very well and then decide which ones I want to exaggerate or focus on. Not always exaggerate, but yeah, you can anybody can study my stuff. You can post it, whatever. It does not bother me. Obviously, I prefer if you credit it, if you're studying like my stuff. But even if you don't, that doesn't bother me either. So it's like for educational purpose, then it's all good. I like to simplify the eyes quite a bit. I don't like over exaggerating it. I don't want to draw this into Aina. I want to draw my own characters. Very different from the last time I drew her, but it's okay. Everything I do for my OC is canon, because it's my OC. That's not true, but I like to believe it's true. What are my superpowers of my characters? There's a character sheet, well, not sheet, but like thread in my Discord. You can go read that. It's not very long, so I didn't really like. It's not very elaborate. At least the stuff I posted is not very elaborate. The story, like the headcanon, is very elaborate, but. I haven't really shared it all, so. Mostly magic-based parties. There's like physical buffs as well, but mostly magic-based. Ooh, let's draw the OG Aina. But then she wouldn't smile. She would just look at you disappointed. Figure out how to make the wings curve around without drawing the form. What a difficult thing to do. I haven't drawn her with the full feature in a long time. I don't know, I'm not drawing her in the center, even though it's supposed to be like a center frame. This feather looks awkward. Okay, this does feel like the character, so that's for now. I feel like as I render, it's gonna go further away. freehand these perspectives. It's a little bit awkward. The stylization of I is the effect of simplification, so there's many different ways to achieve it, but the main way is mileage. It's the most straightforward one. I misread the perspective, or more like the foreshortening of this part. I think that's more accurate. Yeah, it's similar, but no relationship to oops. More like she doesn't need to adapt. Study Taiki since Taiki. Oh, Taiki. Yeah. I know which one you're talking about. My rendering style and his is not very compatible. Like the way that they do illustrations based on patterns is not something I personally would do. And I don't know, does he use like texture files, like whether he generates it or not, but does he use textures in terms of like tiling and patterning, or is it all hand drawn? Because I really don't think it's hand drawn. Not all the tiling is hand drawn. And if it's not, then I'm not that interested in the process of it. Like, I think it looks really nice, but it's not something I would ever commit time to. So, ooh, this line needs to be further up, but it's too late now. I feel like I want to break center a little bit. compositional purposes. Okay, this is fine. You always draw without guidelines. How do you keep proportions in check? Yeah, I usually draw without guidelines. I keep proportions in check by having accurate shapes and control over the shapes. So I think this would be 491. I will try to set up a schedule where I stream earlier in my day. yeah, I'll see you guys in the near future. Hopefully soon. Probably soon.